Hello everyone, this is the Strumkeys, a synthesizer you can strum. Just going to show you guys around it. So this is the default view. You got play, stop, octave up, octave down. These are all your chords. It starts out at C natural. No, my bad. C major Ionian. Or Ion. I don't know how to pronounce it. And then, so right now we're on the sine wave and triads, and you can change the triads later. I'll show you that. You got square, triangle, saw wave, and then you got particle. Particle is kind of a drum / white noise. Personally, my favorite is the saw wave. You got detune, and then you got filter cutoff. Filter cutoff, you can use the knob for a little bit more accuracy, but you can also use the trill bar as a multi-touch. So something cool. And encoder 2, if you press it, arms it. That's for the sequencer. If you press the encoder 1, this is the main menu. This is going to get changed up a little bit. I'll kind of explain that here in a minute. So this is the default one that I just explained. Every single thing, for the most part, changes the encoders, especially these top 4. So this one was the wave, detune, filter cutoff. This is the LFO type, LFO rate, and LFO depth, LFO source, pitch bend, and resonance. And then this is for effects. It adjusts whichever effects particular parameters for that selected effect. I'm probably going to change that to something else for those 3, mainly because it confuses the 2 right now. Sometimes it's meant so that whichever one you last pressed, when you press this one again to change the parameters, it affects that. But lately it's been just affecting both, so I'm probably going to change that. This one's your envelope. So if we go into here, it's your ADSR. Any one of these knobs, once you touch this button, adjusts the value. So if we go to sustain, and then this is portamento. I will get back into that here in a little bit. It really only affects free poly mode, which I'll also show you. So if we go back to the main menu, these are all your chord scales. So you got major Ionian, which is the default one, natural minor, harmonic minor, melodic minor, major pentatonic, blues, whole tone, and chromatic. And then after that you have triads, which is default, so 3 notes, fourths, and then sevenths, and then you got free poly. Oh yeah, and then once you press these, you still have to go back, and the changes don't take place until you change the chord. So free poly lets you do any note within the scale. We'll come back to that. And then you have first inversion, second inversion, and you have octave double, which pretty much adds a low root note, and then you have your back button. You get some of these sub menus. You can use the back button or just press the main button. Okay, and then after that you have your primary effect and secondary effect. So the primaries are reverb, delay, decimator, and phaser. I believe delay is 1.5 seconds, and I think reverb is, I believe 1 second, but I can definitely answer that here in the story. On the secondary, you got overdrive, tremolo, flanger, and jitter. Jitter is essentially, it mimics kind of older synthesizers by warbling with an LFO, the pitch. So you can get some like just real nice warmth kind of sounds to it, in my opinion. But and then you have the looper. So this enables it. If you have something already recorded onto it, it'll play it with this button. This records it. So if you enable it, you have to hit the button again, record it, and then play. I'll showcase those here in a second. And then this is blank for now. I'm thinking about adding an ARP mode, and I still have to add in a key scale. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to put it in that one, or move some of these around and have them a little bit more organized. This is your bypass mode. So essentially you press this, excuse me, you can use any line level, other synthesizers, or if you have a preamp to a guitar, then you could use it, something like that. You can use the filter, you can use all of the effects, and you can use the modulations of the sequencer to affect whatever instrument you plugged in. This is the sequencer option, so this is the turn on for it, which puts it like overrides the main menu. Well, the chord view, really. This is page, I can't remember, this is page down. I think this is page down, no, this modulation menu, page down, page up. I may even switch this modulation menu, and I'll show you here in a second. So first off, let's show off the free poly mode with Portamento on it. And so, yeah. So it kind of turns into a ribbon sensor. I just think it's so cool, but it for your multi-touch, instead of doing the filter, each contact is now, or well, each touch is now a voice. So I think that's just really cool. Let's go ahead and turn that back off. And okay, now the other thing to show off is the looper. I'm going to actually turn on delay for this, and I'm not even going to adjust the delay settings. You just go to this fourth one, then adjust it. I'm thinking about having it to where whichever one you select in this menu, you would just adjust the encoders, and it would just affect that primary one or that secondary one within that menu. So I'm kind of thinking about, but anyways, so I'm going to turn on this looper, then this records it. And it's going to play it back to me. This is 10 seconds total. And then the first encoder adjusts the time, the start time of it. It gets really, really precise on that. So it takes several turns to get that. I may tweak that a little bit. This one adjusts the speed and the direction. So I can go real fast with it. Just get instant ambiance with that. And then this adjusts the volume of it. And then in order to stop it, you would just do that again. Like I said, this one was blank. This is the bypass. We'll show that real quick. Press that. You can no longer strum. You can still use the filter. So essentially, I'm going to grab this vocal drum real quick. I'm going to turn it on. And I'm just going to press play. I still got delay on it, so it's going to sound a little funky, but we can turn that off. We can put some overdrive on it. Nice little crunchy beat going. You still use the filter. Now if we turn on sequencer, and this third encoder, now when you press it, it goes straight to the modulation menu. I'm not supposed to. Hold on. Yeah, pull that a little bit. There you go. I just tightened that, so I probably pressed down on that encoder too much. So essentially, now this is your modulation menu. I'm gonna press pause on that for a second. So these are pretty much your modulations. So you have filter, gate, and volume, and then you have the LFO. So that affects all of them, although they have 3 different ones. So they have 3 separate instances of that LFO, if that makes sense. And then you have filter. Okay, yeah. So this changes your trill bar. I still got to work on this a little bit because sometimes it still affects it when you record it, but it audibly sounds like a filter going off. So I don't understand. So I got to work on that a little bit. But this one is the default filter. This one's gate, volume. Essentially, when you're recording it, if you want to do custom values, you would use your multi-touch on here to do it. Now each one of these has its own 64-step sequencers. And then in order to get back to that, you just let's see. So we did that, and then this is the randomize button. This is your directions. This was a bypass for the modulation, but I just combined that into the regular bypass. So pretty much, my favorite thing is just to do the randomize one when I'm playing an instrument into here. Now I'm going to show you sequencer now. So this one you would you could record into it, doing this and record, or you could manually put it in. So you would hit the button and whichever chord you hit next. So just like that, and then you press play. Oh wait, hold on. We gotta turn bypass off. And overdrive, because that's probably not gonna sound the greatest. Okay. Now your third encoder is, well, I should preface this by saying this back to your chord view. This is your step view. If you press encoder 3, it goes to mod menu instead of the step view. If you press encoder 2, that's record, but if you move it, those page up and downs will now be each page when you move this. So we go back to here, play it, back to randomize. And we can choose directions. So this is default. I believe this is reverse, ping pong, and then random. And you'll see it. The tracker going. Yeah, it's ping pong. And then random. Now you can actually have this playing and the looper at the same time, and you can even have a separate instrument playing into the looper. So let me go ahead and play this, and we'll go ahead and so far that's the Strumkeys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I was trying not to make this a lengthy tutorial. Kind of was. I was trying to make it as quick as I could. I'll likely have more tutorials on my YouTube channel, Date Trace. Please follow me there if you want more videos on this. I get amazing videos of this thing. This thing is just amazing. Just idea box. It's crazy what this thing can do. Anyways, I hope you all want to support Strumkeys, and I look forward to seeing you guys at the Kickstarter. See ya.